So today was pretty exciting news. We got brand new information about the Ataribox, which is Atari's return to the home console market. We haven't seen them since the Atari Jaguar, and this is pretty impressive stuff in my opinion. Now, of course, I've talked about the Ataribox on the channel before, and I did have some concerns about it, but I try to remain optimistic. I like new hardware, I like new things, and I like Atari, so it was gonna be very interesting to see what happened with this. Well, they released an email today to people that were interested in the product, and I decided to read the email. Oh my God, what are you doing? What is wrong with you? This thing is gonna fail. It's gonna be complete vaporware. How could you do this? What is wrong with you? So yes, that's right, the Ataribox has brand new information about it sent via an email, and we're gonna go over this email together because I wanna highlight some things and look at some things and let you guys know what the Ataribox is all about. So looking at the email, you see that you get more pics and news about the Ataribox. Today we're sharing brand new pics, more on what's inside, and more info on the launch. And you see a couple pictures of the unit. It's a pretty cool looking unit, definitely harks back to the Atari age. No pun intended of Atari age forums. They don't really like me over there, I found out. But yes, the Atari, time of prominence in it. It has, that wood grain look to it. So that's pretty cool. Retro gamers will probably appreciate that. Now let's look and see what they're bringing to the table. These pictures we're sharing today are the first prototypes. Everyone that's seen the Ataribox firsthand loves it, feeling the Atari 2600 influence while still being a modern design. Okay, I agree with that. It definitely looks like a 2600, but looks very modern. Let's read on. Ataribox will be powered by an AMD customized processor with Radeon graphics technology. It'll run Linux with a customized, easy-to-use user interface. This approach means that as well as being a great gaming device, Ataribox is also a full PC experience for the TV, bringing you streaming, applications, social, browsing, music, and more. Okay, Linux-based. That's actually pretty interesting because essentially what you're saying is it's going to be a Linux console, which sort of makes it more of a PC than, an actual video game system. If you have open-ended software with Linux, I've ran Linux before on an old netbook because that's all the netbook would really run. And Linux is very open. You can do a lot of crazy things with Linux. There has to be some piracy concerns in there, but, let's read on. Maybe they'll start talking about games and cool stuff like that. Most TV devices have closed systems and content stores. Linux lets us be more open. You can access and customize the OS, and you can access games you bought from other content platforms if compatible with the OS and the hardware. Okay, so you're essentially like a streaming device now if I'm able to access games. And what are these games going to be? Are they Steam games? Because if it's just Steam games, you could kind of just hook up your laptop to a TV and, do everything that this is doing. Or you can get, things like the Dreamcade, which I covered on this channel, which is essentially a mini PC, Windows based, and it runs Windows 10 and it's like $100. So maybe they're going for like a budget home TV, PC thing, but that's fine, whatever. Let's look at the games. I'm sure they're gonna get to the games. They have to be getting to the games, right? Right? There will be tons of classic Atari retro games preloaded and current titles from a range of studios. We'll start talking titles very soon. Stay tuned. Okay, so you're giving me a Linux box, which will be able to run emulators, obviously, and you're preloading Atari games, assuming 2600 stuff that we've all played a million times, or we own the cartridges for, or we own an Atari plug-and-play system to be able to play these games. And you're gonna offer new games, but you're not gonna talk about the new games because that might make people excited. That might make people actually more interested in the product. You've spent more time talking about what Linux is, actually describing what Linux is, than what games will be on your gaming platform. Okay, no big deal, no big deal. I'm sure they're saving something good for the end, so let's just keep reading, shall we? We're launching Ataribox on Indiegogo this fall. Read pretty soon. To reiterate why, we want you, the Atari community, to be a part of this launch. We want you to have early access, grab special editions, and to have you as active partners in the rollout of Ataribox. We want you to be a part of the story. Crowdfunding. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Let's just read on. We plan on shipping late spring 2018 with an expected price range of $249 to $299, depending on specific editions and memory configurations. You've lost your mind. You have absolutely lost your mind. And I'm going to control my rage because I want to get to the end of this. I'm sure there's going to be a game that's going to say, hey, you know what? This system is worth $300. They're going to show it at the end. I'm sure of it. To confirm what many have asked, the wood edition is made with real wood. I am done! Done! What is this madness? Are you out of your mind? Have you lost it? Do you just want to waste money? Let's just go back. Let's go back. Indiegogo, which means that this is not a Kickstarter project. What's the difference between Indiegogo and Kickstarter, you might ask? Well, on Kickstarter, you need to have a proof of concept. On Indiegogo, you don't. You could just say, hey, I'm making a rocket ship that plays NES games that, you know, will make hot women attracted to you. Give me $1 million. And if people give you $1 million and you just run away with it, no big deal because it was on Indiegogo. There's no risk in taking people's money on Indiegogo. So that is very shady to begin with. And you're launching the Indiegogo this fall, very soon, yet you're not showing a single game for this Linux device. What? Why should I be excited for this? And really, $250 to $300. Let's analyze your market. You want to market yourself as a home console, correct? Correct. So let's look at the home consoles that are available. The PS4, I think it's like $250. Okay. Xbox One S, $250. Nintendo Switch, $300. So you're going to compete against these consoles. And why are those consoles popular? Why do people like the PS4, the Xbox One, and the Nintendo Switch? Well, let's look at it. So PS4 and Xbox One are pretty much competing against each other. And PS4 has been winning this generation. PS4 also has something called console exclusives. People like console exclusives. Console exclusives are what make people gravitate towards a system. You want to play Ratchet & Clank? You want to play Uncharted? Better pick up a PlayStation product. You want to play Halo? You better pick up an Xbox product. You want to pick up, Mario, Zelda? You better buy a Nintendo product. You see, that's the benefit of those three companies. They have games for their system that you can only play on their system when it comes to the console market. What do you have, Atari? What is left in your data bank of games? You can make a new Pitfall? You can make a new Pitfall? Is that going to sell systems? Is that going to be good? And who is your market with this $300 device? Because let me tell you something. Retro gamers are writing this thing off already. Nobody wants to buy a $300 Linux computer that you hook up to your television that might have some games on it. Because Atari is a retro company. That's what people remember Atari for, is retro. Yet you're doing nothing to pander to the retro audience. They're not going to want to spend $300 on essentially vaporware. And let's look at the modern gamers. Modern gamers are busy playing games. You know, if you got a PS4, you got an Xbox One, you're playing games. You got a Nintendo Switch, you're playing games. There's games all over the place. What is there for the Ataribox? Real wood. You end your campaign hype project with real wood. Real wood. That's what you have! I'll go get a block of wood and attach it to my Atari 2600 and say, hey, look, this is the Ataribox. Give me $300 because I'm worth it. And this device is worth it. And there's no games for it. And it's going to stream stuff and be a mini PC, even though there's a million mini PCs out there. It's going to be $300. And it's going to have old Atari games on it. And there's going to be new games, but we're not going to talk about those new games. Whoever is coming up with this product, whoever is behind it, whoever was the brains behind it, and the brains behind this marketing, you have failed. You have absolutely failed and pretty much turned yourself into the laughingstock of the gaming community because you offered nothing. You're more excited about what the system looks like, the fact that it runs Linux, and the fact that, it has real wood, than you are about what actually matters. Games. You see, you're marketing this as a gaming system, not as a mini PC. And when you market it as a gaming system, gamers want games. And you're not offering games. And because of that, you are going to fail miserably. No, I do not see this Indiegogo going well because they're going to want a lot of money. They're going to want hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not upwards of $1 million, in my opinion. And I just don't see this going very well. If for some reason this does hit its funding and, come late spring, I might take a look at it, but I don't expect anything from this system because you've pretty much put the dirt on your own grave. Like, you buried yourself alive. You're like, hey, what can we do with this hype project? Oh, let's not talk about games, talk about real wood. We gotta have real wood. Everyone's gotta have real wood. Real wood is what sells consoles. Oh my God. You need to hire me, Ataribox. If you watch this video, hire me because I can help you here. I can actually help you, make this a more successful product than it's going to be because it's not going to be a success. It's vaporware. It's crap. Nobody's going to want this. You have failed miserably. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think about the Ataribox, what you think about this email, and as always, thanks for checking out this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, make sure you hit that like button, and as always, I will catch you guys next time. Later.
RGT 85, RGT 85. RGT 85, RGT 85.